Namaste and welcome to this mobility practice. This is a great one to do. You can do it as a standalone, of course, but you can also do it as a warm-up before the strength routine. So just make sure that you have a strap in case you need that. Keep that next to you. And also that you have a tightly knit weaved blanket and you roll it up into a little bit of a thicker sausage shape here so it can fit right at the top of your shoulder and your neck. All right, so you just adjust that accordingly, and you might be able to use a soft foam roller for it, but it all depends on how that feels. So I'm going to do this standing, and I'll move a little bit so that you can see it to the back and you can see it to the front. And let's begin. So of course, always make sure that you pay attention to your posture. So you can take your thumbs into your armpits, draw the elbows in, and allow the shoulders to drop down into their sockets, feeling a lot of space between your ears and the shoulders, allowing the head to stay on top of the shoulders and the shoulders on top of your pelvis, and feeling your feet and feeling your legs and your core supporting you. Now the first exercise we'll do is we'll just warm up with some big circles. Make the circles just as big as you can. So you don't want to strain yourself. You want to see if you can maintain that Tadasana position, right? Not throw yourself off center. And just connecting in with your range of motion here. So maybe inhale half the circle and exhale the rest of the circle. You can do as many as you want. Okay, and then we'll go in the other direction, going back, up, forward and down. Yeah, you might hear a few cracks there. Definitely my right shoulder is saying a little crack. Yeah, what's going on there? But yeah, this is a good way of warming ourselves up and also hydrating our tissue. Good, just making sure that you don't do too many and you don't put in too much effort, because then sometimes what can happen is the neck and the jaw gets very involved. They like to get involved. One last one. Good, and now the shoulder, just the shoulder. Really lifting the shoulders up to the ears and then dropping it down. So you can either stay still and just letting your shoulders move, like really lifting them up to the ears and kind of squeezing the shoulders and then dropping it down. Or you can allow your upper body to sort of round forward a little bit with it and then come back, like you're going into a forward bend and then you're standing straight and going into a backward bend. So you can play around with that and then go in the other direction. Circle it back, up, forward, and down. And just stay with your breathing and your posture. And same thing here, if you want to just keep it still and just feeling your shoulder moving around the socket, or if you want to add that little forward bend, that backward bend, you can go for that. Great, and release, yeah, shake it loose. Okay, now next, we're going to place our arms behind our back. Then we're going to open to a 90-degree angle, and this is an internal rotation. Then we're going to turn into an external rotation and straighten the arms up. Go back down to the 90-degree. Rotate it inwards to a 90-degree and then bring it behind. So if we really want to challenge our brain, we can see if we can alternate the behind. So the left in front of the right, and then on the next one, maybe the right in front of the left. Yes, it's good to challenge ourselves in that way, just to really pay attention. But most important thing here is to get that internal rotation and this external rotation. Okay, a few more times. Just stay with your breath. Good. And one more. And we'll end with the arms behind. Good. And release the arms down. And again, just shake it loose, shake it loose. All right, now we'll do our blanket. So you're going to come down onto your hands and your knees, taking the blanket, rolling it up into that sausage. We've done this one in one of the practices. It's like a twisted anahata asana. I'm thinking now of it as like a top of the shoulder melter. So you're on your shins and your knees, give your knees padding. We're going to slide the right arm to the left, and we're going to place the side of our chin and head onto the floor. And the rolled up blanket is at the top of your shoulder and the right side of your neck. Then try to extend the left leg so that this way you're leaning over to the right side and you can stay on your left fingertips. Just pause it here. Breathing in and breathing out. And then if you want to massage yourself a little bit, you can move your hips a bit side to side. Or you can hold it still. But just take your time here, and you might want to pause the video just to really support yourself and not go at my speed. And then if it feels okay, if you want to roll a little bit more over to the right, if you want to lift the arm, maybe bend and extend the arm, or you can play around a little bit. Maybe turn the palm down, turn the palm up. Try not to add too much movement and try not to do too many things at the same time. Pause it here. Yeah, again, just squeezing and soaking the tissue. Okay, slowly release, grounding the left palm, pressing the floor away from you, and be very mindful as you come out of it. And pause it there just to let the right side of your neck settle. Stay with your breath. Just feeling your balance through both arms, through both legs, maintaining your center. And then we'll repeat this on the other side. So slide the left arm to the right, placing your left side of your head on the floor, and then extending the right leg out. And of course, feel free to omit any of these exercises that you feel don't support you at this moment in time. And maybe they will later on. So just use your own inner knowing, your own wisdom, and just play around with it. Notice how it feels on this side. Stay with your breath. Good, and gradually release, pressing through the right hand to come out of it, and then line yourself up in the tabletop position and just let that left side settle in. Stay with your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Good, come back. Take this tool and put it to the side. Step the right foot forward, left foot forward, and come back up to standing. And maybe you just want to shrug your shoulders a little bit. Now, adding on a little bit for the rhomboids. So we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back with the palms facing back, rounding it forward, and then stretching the arms behind. Okay, palms come onto the back, rounding forward, and then we stretch the arms away, pinning the shoulder blades together, opening up the chest. Do that again, rounding it forward and opening up the chest. Just a few more times, rounding it forward and open. Good, feel free to exhale forward. Inhale, open. Exhale forward. Inhale, open. Now open the arms out to the side. Place the hands behind your head, also interlacing the fingers. And from here, rounding it forward. And then opening the chest. Do that again. Exhale, round it forward. Inhale, open the chest. Feel the neck long. Exhale. And inhale. Sometimes the chest can feel a bit tight. All of these muscles are connected, as we know. One more time. Good. Open the arms out to the side and release the arms down. Good. Shake it loose. Now again, open the arms to the side and then turn inwards. So round a little bit forward and then turn outward. Open the chest. Round it forward and open. And same thing as before. You can add on the upper body like this, or you can stay still and just do that internal rotation and the external rotation. I do like to cup my hands a little bit, almost feeling like I'm opening up a jar when I go through this. Rounding it forward and opening. Yeah, one more time. And now we're going to do it alternate. So do alternate, alternate. So one side is internal, one side is external. And also feel free here to stay a little bit more still or to add on a little boogie, boogie. This one also feels like wringing out the water out of the towel. So this is a good way of just squeezing and soaking the tissue, just releasing that tightness. Yeah, one more time. Ooh, and release it down. Yeah, kind of builds up a little bit of endurance in the muscles, and just shake it loose, shake it loose. I call this one a dynamic cow's face arms. So we try to go into the cow's face, touching our hands, and then we try to go into the other side, touching our hands. So trying to maintain the Tadasana and just see where your fingers come, if you're able to bind, and noticing where there might be a discrepancy between them. So this sort of flushes out or flosses out the entire shoulder joint. Use a strap to support you here if you need it. Yeah, my right side has definitely gotten tighter from doing my pull-ups. Yeah, and see how I want to throw myself out of alignment in order to get it. So this is where we have to just really pay attention. And last one. Great, and release. And once you know these exercises, you can do them on your own, individually. Okay, now come down onto the floor. This is a little bit of a dynamic mobility flow that I shared with you the other day. We're going to, from a kneeling position, Give your knees padding if it needs it. Step the right foot forward, hands behind the head, twisting it to the right. Coming up, curling the back toes under, rising up into crescent lunge, opening it up into a warrior two, bending it to the left, bending it to the right, coming up to the center, pivoting that back heel off, and slowly lowering it down. And we're going to flow through this 4 times. So we're doing it 5 times in total. So see how you can try to maintain your Tadasana as you're going through it. Just stay with your breath. Just finding your mobility in your upper body so that it creates more space for the neck and for the head to find its place over the rest of the body. Good. Come back to the center and then step that right foot back into the kneeling position and just shake it loose. How's this feeling? Getting a little warm? Good. Stepping the left foot forward and repeating the same thing. Rotating it to the left. Come to the center. Rise up to crescent. Opening to warrior two. Bending to the back, to the left, center, mindfully lowering yourself back down. Okay, do 4 more times on your own. Just stay with your breath. Right, trying not to rush through it. Just take your time. Good, I think I have one more. And if I did an extra one, let's call it good luck. Pausing in the kneeling position, stepping it back. Yay! And maybe just shrugging it, releasing it. Noticing how this mobility is affecting your shoulders and your upper body if you feel warm. And you can proceed either into the strength, you can also proceed into the stretching. And you can mix up these practices as you see fit for yourself. But do let me know how it goes. Mwah.